A very good afternoon and welcome back to our third day, 19 August 2020, the Industry 4.0 Research and Education Collaboration Workshop online brought to you from Kota Baru, Kelantan and with our partner host university, Handong Global University, South Korea. So this afternoon, we're going to proceed with the last session of, our three working engagement. So we shall be sharing a lot of perspective in terms of now turning all of these opportunities that we have
Banyak.
in the past few days, anything got to do with Industry 4.0 activities, all the technicalities, and how could we exploit that into a good value proposition and perhaps, coming up with the prospective business model. So this afternoon, we're going to bring with you our dearly Prof. Dean from the Faculty of Entrepreneurship, Entrepreneurship and Business, University of Malaysia, Kelantan, Professor Dr. Roslina Ahmad Saufi. She's on the line with us now. Prof, you're there? Everything is good?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you very much.
Alhamdulillah. So a brief introduction about her background. Professor Dr. Roslina currently is a professor in business and management at the Faculty of Entrepreneurship and Business, and also a fellow for Global Entrepreneurship Research and Innovation Center. And importantly, she's also the chairman of Professor Council at University Malaysia, Kelantan. So she obtained her PhD in Masters of Business, PhD and Masters of Business Administration, respectively from the University of Sheffield, UK. And she was the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academic and International prior to this year, back then 2012 and 2015, and also was the Group Managing Director of UMS Link Holding, that is a university's vehicle that runs all the company, whatever business activity for university. So today we are glad to have her with us. So she will be sharing about Industry 4.0 from value proposition to business model. Prof. Dr. Roslina, over to you. The session is yours.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Very good afternoon and assalamualaikum to all of you. Okay, and thanks again to Prof. Susanna for giving me this opportunity. It's a privilege for me to share a little bit about the topic that we have been mandated to me. And to the Korean partner, okay, thank you very much. Looking forward to this sharing of knowledge with the Korean partner, especially from the Handong Global University of South Korea. So, okay, let me share with you the screen, yeah? Okay, right. Okay, can you see the screen now?
Yeah, very good.
Okay, all right. So the topic, or just I would say this is a early stage for us to share something about the Industry 4.0 and how it can it impacts the value propositions to the extent of doing the business and what will be the business models for the future. Yeah. Okay. So this will be my presentations. We try to cover as much information as I can within the next, hopefully within the next 20 to 30 minutes. Okay. And then we can also have a Q&A following from that. Yeah. Okay. So if you look at today, right, the fourth industrial revolution, this has becoming a very buzzword now. Everywhere around the globe is talking about the impact of IR 4.0. So I'm not sure how the Korean looks at this, okay? Some of the Chinese men from China say, hey, we are moving towards the fifth industrial revolution. And Malaysia is actually still struggling towards embracing this fourth IR 4.0. So basically, what does it mean? To me, in the nutshell, when we talk about fourth IR, is actually we are working in the cyber world. So that is in the short, yeah. We are actually moving moving towards the cyber world. Okay, everything now is using technologies. Okay, we save our documentations in the cloud. Okay, and the gadget, the tools, the technology now is all at our hand now. Yeah, so it is we're talking about machine to machine and so forth. Yeah, okay. So if you look at the paradigm shift, okay, we are here. The fourth industrial revolution is actually based on cyber physical systems. So everything is going towards automations, robotics, okay. Perhaps one day there will be another Rosalina, another Raja Susana, but in a different form. The feature may be the same, but we are being cloned. So we never know. That could happen.
That is possible,
because
Prof.
yeah, it is possible. If you watch the Star Wars, everything, I think we would not be surprised if there will be another Professor Hong Yong-sik, there will be another Professor Susanna in the next 20, 30 years, yeah? Okay. So there are three aspects, okay, in the shift actually, okay? If you look when we talk about the industrial revolution, we are actually confined in the industrial shift, yeah, okay, from the revolution 1 up to the revolution 4, okay. But there are another two shifts that we have to be aware, because all these shifts, okay, they are actually impact the way we conduct our business. What will be the future business trend, okay, and what will be the business models, yeah, okay. So if you look at from the societal perspective, okay, so we are now also moving from the primitive society towards agriculture society. If you remember 40 years ago, I think like in Malaysia or even in the Korea, okay, agriculture was one of the prime drivers of the economy those days. Yeah, okay. But now we are moving towards the industrial society. Information now, presently we are into the information society. Everything is about data, data, data. We must capture data. We must store data. Okay, right. And don't be surprised, okay, we are moving towards smart society. So people have spoken about what is society 5.0. Whereas on the industry, we are talking about industry 5.0, 4.0, but at the society level, we are talking already about society 5.0. So that's imply, okay, the society now is moving ahead, is thinking forward. Okay, what kind of world if we are going to live in the smart society? It's actually at the fingertips. Everything we just need to press, the aircon is there. But in the smart society, we can just talk, voice recognition. Okay, I know the handphone is already having that voice recognition, but in the future, we want our house to be very smart. The Japanese, the Korean already invented that. Okay, so everything is at our fingertips. Even we can control from everywhere how to switch on the microwave, how to switch on our blender, okay, without actually looking at those devices. Yeah, okay. And the smart society is actually referring to the connectivity of the society within the neighborhoods actually. Yeah, so this is the words is that connectivity. How do we connect ourselves without having physically connected? That's too different. We want to be connected, but I don't need to be in front of you. I mean, just like now, okay? I'm looking at Prof. Su, I'm looking at Prof. Han, okay? But I don't need to be physically there in Korea. Neither you need to be physically here in Malaysia. But we are being connected through the technology, okay? Right. Then we talk about the education shift, okay? If you look at the education shift now, we are very focused on students learning. So from teaching to learning. There are two different things. When we talk about teaching, it's just telling. But when we talk about learning, we want the students and the educators to experience it. Okay, so when we combine all these three shifts, okay, it actually giving an impact to the way we conduct our business and the way we conduct our administrations or operations. Yeah. Okay. So, what is the new demands of the IR 4.0? Definitely, if you look around, okay, the IR 4.0 actually demands for changes in innovation. Yes, we have innovate, but we have to be more creative in our innovations, okay? Demands for new knowledge. What sort of new knowledge now? Okay, we are learning about management, but it's not enough now. We need to learn about the management tool, the management technology tools. Okay, so everybody must be savvy into this new knowledge. Okay, we have to abreast with what's the developments within the business fraternity. Okay, new skills, new sets of skills are required. Okay, so we have to learn that. So it is demand for the human resources to be upskilling and to be reskilling now. Okay, new industry focus. What would be the new industry focus? I will share you in my latest slides. Yeah. Okay. New technologies. We're talking about AI, artificial intelligence, machines, tools. What else? The IoT, right? Okay, and so many there. So are we talking now? IR 4.0 is the technology is going to replace the human being. My answer to that, no. But we have to work together with the machines. So when we talk, if we are moving our business into the era of IR 4.0, so we cannot run away from merging the human plus the technology. So that's what the future directions of the business. Yeah. Okay. So the way we business conduct, as I mentioned, so we have to augment the technology tools. Yeah. Okay. We have to turn our business operations to be more robust in the sense that automations will be there, robotic will be there, and using other forms of new technology. So therefore, we need a new set of human capital skill. So when we talk about requiring the new sets of human capital, we need to change our education landscape as well. Yeah. Okay. So there is a drive for entrepreneurship in the driving economic growth is indisputable. Yeah. So everywhere around the globe, okay, we're talking about entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is not just having a physical infrastructure, but you can conduct your business from anywhere and from everywhere. Yeah. So basically, although there is a new demands of IR 4.0, the bottom line business organization is about people. Yeah. Okay. So if you look at this, this is just to share with you from our Ministry of International and Trade. Okay, what would be the technology pillars of 4IR? Okay, so if you look at this, okay, there are 8 focus or 8 core areas in the technology which actually drive the economic and the way we conduct our business. Okay, the autonomous robots, the simulation, system integration, okay, so oops, yes, okay, Internet of Things, cyber security, cloud computing, additive manufacturing, augmented AR, big data, and so forth. Okay, so we need to know, okay, as a businessman or a new businessman, okay, we cannot run away from these pillars. So these are the current buzzwords going on around the globe. Yeah, okay, right. So the waves of revolution in 4IR, okay, if you look at, when we talk about the IR 4.0, many countries, and even in Malaysia now, we are talking about there is a digital divide now, okay? So we need to transform our society. We need to transform the way we work, okay? So how do we narrow the gap of this digital divide, yeah? Okay. So the waves is that now, okay, consumers are becoming technology savvy. So we are in the future of producing digital consumer. From digital natives, okay, digital natives, basically people who are born from the year 2010 till now and the future, perhaps give another 10 more years to till 2030. So after 2030, I'm not sure what will be the generations called. Yeah, okay. So currently we are calling it the millennials, which are the digital natives. Yeah, okay. So our children and the future parents, the future grandparents, okay, they will be digital savvy. Okay, they will be technology savvy. Okay, so if the consumers are very into the technology, okay, so therefore the enterprise has to be digitalized as well. Okay, so the mode of running the business has to be different. Okay, in view of the COVID-19, right? Okay, in America, right? Some of the shopping malls, the giant shopping malls like the Kmart and everything, have closed down. Not just because of the COVID-19, but people now, okay, are not willing to travel to the store. Everything they want is just on call, with on the finger, right? Okay, I'm sure perhaps in the culture is also coming up in Malaysia, right? So especially among the netizens, among the young family, okay, they don't want, they rather shop through the Alibaba, Lazada, and so forth, or Shopee, or whatever online business available through the websites. Okay, so the demand for digital enterprise is there. So the waves of the revolutions in IR 4.0 is really changing the business landscape. Okay. So the other one talking about the emerging digital operations wave. Okay, this is talking about the machine-to-machine technologies using high technology like artificial intelligence, robotics, cognitive computing, business computing, okay, business analytics, okay, it to be embedded into almost every aspects of business, not just talking about the retail or the retail change, but you're talking about the health sector, the health industry, the hospitals, okay? They are embedding the AI, they are embedding the robotics and cognitive computing, for example, to measure the psychological impact of those of the patients, okay? So these are among which I put it as a three waves. The waves of revolution has really impacted the consumer, the enterprise, and the operations levels. Yeah. So just to share with you what we call the digital transformations, or DX, like machine to machine, okay, machine learning, okay, NLP, infrared. So there are a lot of things there. Yeah. Okay. Right. And smart city technology, as I mentioned just now, right? The smart city, basically, how do we get connected? Yeah. If we are staying in the one neighborhood, right? We want to be connected to the schools, to the factories, to the amenities, okay, to the transportations and everything, so that it will ease the movement of the people, yeah, the livelihood of the people in the same area, okay. So the internet crowdsourcing, sensor streams, okay, will be there. And of course, when the smart city, smart society is actually towards improving efficiency, offering new services, and of course the power applications. Yeah. Right. Okay. The other elements of you talking about machine to machine. Okay, you're talking about in the smart city building the automation, industrial automation, smart grids, telemetry, smart parking, smart solutions. So everything is smart now. Okay. So at the end of the day, sometimes I ask myself, so when we talk about artificial intelligence, so we are not intelligence, it is actually artificial intelligence. When you talk about artificial, the word artificial, yeah, okay. So it's actually about the tools that is more intelligence, yeah, okay. And how do we apply those tools, okay, to assist our livelihood. Okay, so this is another example when I share with you just now what are the sectors that impacted. Almost every sector. When you talk about machine to machines, yeah, not just confined to educations, but also to the health sector, the smart city, the factory, manufacturing, the construction, environmental, okay, the agriculture sectors, and retail, and of course the supply chain as well. Yeah. Okay. So at the end of the day, we want it to be connected. Okay. So my next discussions. Yeah. Okay. So why do we need the value proposition? What do we understand by the value propositions now? So if, for example, McDonald, yeah. So let's look at McDonald. Okay. Now, what is the value propositions of McDonald? Fast food, right? Fast serving food. That is the value proposition. So people don't need to really queue for to wait for their serving, but they can just go drive through and they order a few minutes, then they will get there. So it's trying to, the value propositions that McDonald wants to promote is fast serving food. Okay, right. For example, Subway. Subway, Prof Yan, in Korea, so we have Subway, right? Okay, the sandwiches. Yeah, okay, right. So what is the value proposition for Subway actually? Fast, healthy sandwiches. People who are very conscious, concerned and conscious about healthy. So they go to Subway, they expect to have a healthy sandwiches. So they have the wheat bread, they have the all sorts of wheat breads there and served with all sorts of filling vegetables and so forth. Yeah, okay. So value proposition is actually to explain who your target audience is. That's number one. Secondly, what your product is valuable, like McDonald's, fast food, Subway, healthy. Audience will be perhaps working people and perhaps who are very concerned about healthy, right? So that is the target audience. Yeah. Okay. What problem your product wants to solve? Because people may not have time to work, to spare their time in the kitchen. People are so busy. Mother, father, children are all at work. Okay. So we need to find something that can solve our basic need. Where can we get a quick food? So it's actually the product offered by McDonald's or Subway is actually to solve those who are working, those working group. Okay. How your business is unique. Excuse me. The other fourth elements, okay, the value proposition must explain how unique is your business. Okay. What is the niche? What is the significant about your business? So McDonald's is talking about, well, fast that can cater everybody. McDonald's is trying to cater from the children to the parents. Subway is actually trying to cater for those healthy, conscious society, right? So how do you deliver the uniqueness? So this is the thing. Okay. So in the process of today, when we talk about the IR 4.0, okay, it's still the fundamental, we still have to go back to who will be our audience, what will be the product, what will be the problem that you want to solve, and how unique will be your business is. Okay? So first, identify your target audience. Who are the people that will benefit from your product? What do they value and need? And what challenges do they face? Okay? So basically, if you want to be succeed in our business today and sustain, so we got to ask ourselves, what problem that are we trying to solve? We cannot be so, you cannot become like Apple, right? The Apple group, Steve Jobs, that, well, I have this product that I'm not thinking about how to solve a problem, but my product of Apple is one of the elite group. Unlike, for example, Samsung, yeah? Samsung is actually addressing the society. The society required a smartphone. The society required a very high resolutions, okay? So that is Samsung. Samsung is actually driven from the society into the business. Unlike the Apple, Apple is driven from the business into the society. These are the two different models actually between Samsung and Apple. Yeah. Right. So the four core elements of value propositions, okay, that we must understand: the offering, the audience, value, and differentiator. So this is actually the what, the who, the why, and how. Okay. So I'm just giving you an example of Zoom. So everybody is using Zoom. So we are using Zoom. Okay. What is so significant about Zoom? Okay. If we can understand properly about Zoom, yeah, Zoom is on a mission to make video communications frictionless. The word is frictionless, right? And allow people to communicate, yeah, person to person, but in a digital environment. Okay, so Zoom is a huge value add for people. So therefore, what is the offering? Because we remember that previously, okay, these are the four core elements, yeah, okay, offering, audience, value, differentiator, okay, right. So Zoom, the offering is video communication platform. So this is the platform that allow people to be connected, okay, right. The audience can be enterprise teams in finance, education, healthcare, and government or everywhere, okay. The value, to allow the people, human being, to be connected and accomplish more in digital environment. For example, if we do not have Zoom, we do not have WebEx, I don't think our project of UNESCO, AGU, and UMK can be materialized. We have to wait after the COVID, and then let's do it physically. But we are very pleased when we have all these platforms like WebEx, Zoom, Google Meet, and so forth, even Skype. So we allow people around the globe to be connected and business can go on as usual. So the differentiator is that the frictionless or easy to use. Yeah, easy to use. Okay. So we're talking about the value propositions in the future. So I'm just sharing with you the 9 digital trends, okay, that relevant, okay, in the future, and in fact, it's already happening now. Okay, these are what we call the 9 digital technology mega trends, okay, and are these values? Okay, for example, if you're talking about ubiquitous pervasive computing, like the handphone. Now we have a smart handphone, we have iPad and everything. It's about where we just use from one device, we can just be connected. So machines is that, right? We don't need an office space. So is this a value? Yes. If this is the trend now, so the value proposition has to be on that direction. Okay, similarly, it goes to, like, for example, smart infrastructure. We want to be connected. We want to be fast. We want to have a very high-speed train, for example. Yeah, okay, or high-speed flight aircraft maybe in the future. All right. So we need to have that rapid train from Malaysia to Singapore. If last time you want to travel to Singapore, it takes us like about 4 or 5 hours. But hopefully, when the rapid train from Malaysia to Singapore is completed in the next 2 years, 3 years, we can only travel 1.5 hours to Singapore. We are on the dot Singapore. So if you're working, we're staying in KL, we can work in Singapore and we can be in the office on time, for example. So all these things is actually the new values, actually. Yeah. So when we talk about our business, okay, we cannot run away from these mega trends, actually, because this is what the future required. We have to remember we are not living forever, but our future generations will be there in the future, and their culture is very much different than us today. So if I would like to share with you, when from the IR 4.0, how it impact the value proposition, how should we able to identify the right value if we were to embark into business, okay, is actually derived from what we call the business model canvas, BMC, okay. There's one part in the BMC known as value propositions there, right? Once we know that and we can fill up all the 9 domains, okay, if you look at this BMC, okay, and BMC has been used by multinational corporations. Yeah. Okay. So the models, okay, is still being used, okay, and still be applied in many corporate sectors. Okay, they know what they need to identify. Okay, the first step is to identify your value when we want to do a business. Okay, for example, like my example just now, the McDonald. Okay, when McDonald was first started up in 1946, yeah, okay, what was the value? Of course, they don't understand what is BMC, but they ask themselves, the two brothers asking themselves, what value they actually we want to instill into our hamburgers? Oh, quick hamburgers, fast, so that people can come and grab the food and go back. The key word is that fast. In 1946, when the brothers of McDonald's, okay, established the McDonald's in Missouri, okay, so that was the idea. Then they come up with the idea about how there would be the layout of the kitchen. So that was the value, okay? Then after once it's spread out, so they're talking about who will be the key partners, okay, who will be the customers, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to touch this later, okay. So the value proposition canvas is actually, there are two parts, two major parts actually. The product itself, and the other one is the customer. Okay, the products, because we have to remember that we need to know what is our offering, right? Okay, what is our offering is actually referring to our products, or it can be services, okay, or any innovations on that point. Okay, so when we use this template, we can use this template. Students use these templates is how to come up with their value propositions. Okay, what would be the benefits? Okay, what would be the experience? And what is the uniqueness, the features of the product? Okay, and on the other segment, the customer. Okay, we need to understand what do our customers want. Okay, what sort of requirement do they expect from the products? What do they need? Why do they need it? Okay, and as a businessman, we have to understand our industry. So what are the substitutions available there? Is there any competitors, for example, or is there any substitutes products that can be a competitions to our products, or it can be complement? So we need to understand that. Yeah. Okay. So from the value propositions, okay, then only we can establish the business model actually. Yeah. Okay. So the business model basically describes the explanation of how an organization creates, delivers, and captures value in economic, social, cultural, and other contexts. So it's just like building a house. When you build a house, so we need to have those architecture structure. So similarly goes to the business model. Okay, when we want to deliver our product, we want to sell our products to the market, we need to have a model. Okay, how is going to impact the society? Okay, what sort of uniqueness or features do we offer in our products? Okay, how can it change the society? Yeah, so we need to have that structure. So the 4 values of a business model, okay, one is the value propositions. We understand that already. Okay. The other one is the value creation. Okay. Value creations. The other one is the third one is the value captured, and the surrounded the 3 is the value network. Okay. Right. So value propositions, we understood that. Okay. When we talk about value creation, okay, what do we want to create so that people will be eased? The McDonald's example, people will be eased People will not be hassled, right? Okay. People knows that if we couldn't, we don't have time to cook, well, there's a McDonald's, we can grab quickly our food, for example. Okay. Value chain. Okay. How is the value chain configured? Okay, so this is talking about inside the business, okay, the production line, the distribution line, okay, all right. So we have our product, but it doesn't mean that we need to distribute ourselves. We can engage telemarketers, for example, okay. So these are the things that we, another part on the value creations, okay, is also talking about the revenue, the cost structure, yeah, how much money involved in creating the products or services, okay, and of course the value network, okay, the surrounding that, okay, the value network, okay, is about the partners. The partners can be our suppliers of the raw products. The partners can be our distribution companies, okay, who can distribute our products, okay. Can the partners be also our complementaries? For example, I'm just selling a bag, for example, like a camera. I'm just a manufacturer of a camera, but the accessory to the camera, like the bags, okay, will be supplied by other company to add on values to the core products. Yeah. Okay. So these are the, okay, and of course, when we talk about business model, we cannot run away from the SWOT or PESTLE analysis. I think this is must. I think everyone is fully aware about what is SWOT. We need to able to evaluate our own strength, right? We talk about we are interested to do a business in the future or today, right? But we have to mirror ourselves. What strengths do we have? What weaknesses do we have? What are the opportunities and threats outside there? And similarly, it's okay, how will be the political situation? How will be the economic situation? Is the inflation rate is high or low? What will be the sociological culture, technological culture, legal legislature requirements, and of course the environmental aspect about it. Okay? So this is the business model canvas. As I mentioned just now, there are 9 domains there, where normally when we coach students, okay, in setting up the new models, okay, we still can use these templates actually. Yeah, okay. So I'm just giving you an example, another example case study here on Skype. No, everyone is using Skype. Yeah, okay. What is the uniqueness about the Skype? Okay, so if you look at the Skype business model, I'm just sharing with you, okay, from the students, okay. So the key partners of the Skype is actually there are outside the internet providers, okay, and there are also distribution partners, for example. But most important, if you look at the middle part, the value propositions of the Skype is actually free Skype calls, cheap calls or phones, and the video conferencing services, okay. So it solves our problem. As a society, it solves my problems because I can be connected with anyone around the globe, okay, using Skype, okay, and cheap. And sometimes, most of the time, it's free, yeah, okay. So this is just to give an example to you, okay, right. So people still use same old models. So now we're talking about new business model for a more resilient environment, okay, for a more resilient, okay, actually, this is something like what we say is that old wine in the new bottle, okay. So we're talking about the new future, the technology era, the cyber world is actually, we don't need to change the dish, but we add seasoning into the dish so that the taste will be much better. Yeah, okay, that's the analogy that I will share with you. Okay, so the emerging business models, okay, all right, it has to be market-based. Yeah, we cannot run. The key to sustainability in the business is that we have to keep close to the customers, to the society, right? What actually that we want to solve, right? Okay. The next one is the volume-based or price-based. Okay. Some people would take the approach of volume-based. Okay. I offered the price at a very low price, but I play around the volumes. So when I can produce thousands of products and thousands, millions of people buying my products, I won. I can capture the industry. But some people will go on the price-based approach. For example, like Apple. Yeah, okay. Apple, for example, is a good example. Price-based. You look at, if you want to buy an Apple phone or a MacBook, for example, how much does it cost? Perhaps you can buy 3 HP, right? Hewlett Packard computer equivalent to only 1 MacBook, right? Because of the price. Yeah. But to Apple's group, they feel that, well, I have a niche market, right? Okay. Tier-based is also another approach. We cannot segment our product to everybody. We got to be segmentized in terms of our market segments. Okay. So in the future, there's no such thing that one product can fit everything. It's going to be a problem. If we think it as a businessman, if we think that, oh, this product can solve everything, no, we are wrong. Right? Okay. Collaboration based, this is a good thing. Okay. How do you synergize? For example, university to university when it comes to commercializations, okay? Or a few industry collabs to create a giant corporations. Yeah, okay, this is happening already in the world. Yeah, okay, even in Malaysia, for example, like IOI, okay, at UM, and then they collapse, okay, and becomes a very big, huge corporate company. Okay, innovation based. Okay, so we're talking about innovation. Yes, bear in mind, innovation, there are incremental to stages of innovations. Yeah, okay, and innovations, from my understanding, innovation, it doesn't mean that it's forever. Your innovation product maybe can last 3 years. Yeah, but there will be other competitors will come in. Okay, I have to respect Samsung on this one, right? How innovative Samsung is. Okay, every year, almost like every year, they will come up with a new innovative handphone or even electrical appliances at home. Okay, Samsung has managed to be the first producer of the curved TV. Yeah. It was Samsung inventions. Yeah, okay. Integrated channels. Okay, this is again allows company to involve more people in the production and distributions. Yeah, okay. So we don't need to be superhero when we comes to do business. We can always outsource some parts of the business. Yeah, okay. So the future trends. Okay, now if you're looking about e-hailing, you're talking about e-hailing, Grab, Panda, Food Panda, all those things. Okay, it's actually about gig economy, right? Okay, so there are a lot of these are the emerging trend, and in the future, this will be the business directions. Okay, virtual business. Okay, so virtual business, we don't need to have an office. We don't need to have a physical infrastructure, so we can work from home. And another interesting part, I'm sure some of you will be, I was very surprised when I discovered this. So, yeah, some company, very less capital requirement. And some of the companies say, we don't need any capital if we are working from home or we are going for gig economy. So look at the youngsters today, the students of today, right? The digital natives, okay, they produce something, they bake something, and they just publish or promote it through online. That doesn't need cost, isn't it, to set up the business? Okay, technopreneurship. Okay, so that's talking about like Lazada, Alibaba, all those things. Yeah, okay. So these are some of the examples of the future trends, and there will be more coming, like Airbnb, Alibaba. There will be more people like Alibaba, more people like Airbnb, IKEA, Zara, and so forth. Yeah, okay. If you read the cases, okay, when I read the cases of these companies, okay, in terms of their business model, okay, right. For example, like Alibaba. They don't have a real inventory system. Why? Because the supplies comes from everywhere. So they don't need to keep stock actually. They don't need to have a good record of inventory. So long they have good networking of suppliers. Yeah, okay. Zara, for example, I know Zara is about the fashion designer, right? Okay, the business model that they try is that actually, okay, how they utilize a very tight supply chain from design into sewing the products is actually. And then if I am the Zara owner, I will just tag my labeling Zara. But who designed it? Maybe Prof. Susanna. Who saw it? Maybe Prof. Han or maybe other people. But at the end of the day, you come back to me, and I will put my labeling Zara. Right? So this is the trends now. Yeah. Okay. So new methods in business transformation. So I just got from here. Okay, so this is what the technology innovation in business, like using the barcode, digital marketing, content marketing, smart business in any types of management of entrepreneurship, the apps. Okay, even in the agriculture now, we are going for not just agriculture apps, but we are going for the aqua apps. Okay, even some of the animals now has been put chips on the ear of the animals for the cows. Yeah, okay. So these are among the examples actually here. Okay, so this is just a quick nutshells. Okay, but the gist here that I would like to share with you, we need to understand the related policies in the country for us to move forward into the next era. Okay, whatever types of the business, whether it's sole proprietorship, partnerships, or whatever, startup, or to set up a spin-off. Okay, first and foremost, we need to understand what will be the related policies in the country. For example, in Malaysia cases, we have a lot of entrepreneurship policies that really push the entrepreneurs agenda and the student entrepreneurs agendas in Malaysia. We have a lot of policies that really trying to motivate this new business, new ways of doing business. Yeah. Okay. So in my conclusions, okay, I'm promoting that the D way, okay, whatever mega trends, whatever waves, the digital consumer, digital enterprise, and the digital operationalizations of business, okay, is actually we're talking about technopreneurship, okay, and technopreneurship can be applied in many sectors, not just the food sector. It can be on the health sectors, the hotel sectors, retail sectors, and every sectors can be applied. Yeah, okay. Most important thing, we need to have the right mindset, attitudes, and behavior, being accountable and integrity, and solving social problem. People are very lacking of addressing this part. Yeah, okay, right. Normally, people always talk about what will be the mindset, who will be our customers, but we forget that the customers are actually having a problem that we come as a businessman, we come in actually to solve the problem. Okay, so therefore we must be agile and be resilient and be flexible. And the most important one now, we talk about the RI 4.0, or we are moving towards IR 5.0, is about technology savvy. Okay, so technopreneurship is actually the combinations of innovation, technology, and the entrepreneurship mindset. Yeah, okay. So this is my last slide, just to share with you what are the emerging business trends. Yeah, like I've also mentioned just now earlier. Okay, so we basically going for automations and optimizations. Okay, reimagine the business models. Okay, elevated the customers' engagement. Very important. We need to engage. And technology is now the enablers. Okay, I would say technology not just the enablers, but technology is one of the drivers today. Yeah, for us to be, for the business to be sustained in the future. So other business, new business ideas like outsourcing, IoT, 3D printing, starting a co-working space, investment in real estates, consumer healthcare startups, okay, consultancy businesses in any field, not just confined to a certain sector, but in any fields. collaborative economic business, investment in renewable energy sector. So these are actually new business ideas. There are a lot of opportunities for the students, for the future generations is actually can actually take these opportunities. Yeah. So on that note, thank you very much. Okay, Prof. Han, Prof. Susanna, right?
Oh, the session has not yet completed.
Yep. If there is
And
any
I see
questions and answer, right?
there are a few questions, Prof. Let
Yes,
me
sure.
look. We have, all
How
right.
to stop? Okay.
Let me just take a look. Okay, from one Fatin Fatiha Yahya. In your opinion, Prof, does the company, especially SME, ready for IR 4.0 adoption? Small, medium enterprise, are they ready for the industry 4.0 adoption?
Okay, all right. Very good questions. Okay, I've been asked the same question when I was in India, actually. All right, okay. So, in terms of the technology tools, okay, to be acquired by the business, okay, some of the countries are ready, especially India. Don't be surprised, okay? They have come up with the business tools like AI, machine-to-machine tools, business machine tools, and IoT. But the problem is that, okay, the SMEs, okay, who wants it, who are really motivated, wants to adopt these tools, but they're having a constraint because of the investment on these new tools is very high actually. So this is a very true experience, okay, in the developing country, not just like in India or Sri Lanka, in Bangladesh, but also similar goes to in Malaysia. So I'm not sure, I don't think Korea would have that similar, but to the SMEs would be a challenge actually to adopt. Not that they do not want, they do want to move to that direction, but the investments required to invest on, for example, AI is quite a handsome money actually. Yeah. So that will be the challenge for the SMEs actually now. So I'm not saying the question is that, okay, are they moving towards that? The answer, yes, they want to move towards that, but the readiness is not there yet.
Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of awareness initiative need to be done, and also the ecosystem of like preparing the business to geared and ready to move into industry 4.0 is still like in vague. Now, Prof, there's two more question. One is about
Yes,
new
sure.
norm. New norm has changed everything, and business also affected with it. How value proposition can help business to sustain in new norm? Value
Okay, right.
proposition.
Okay, first of all, let us understand what is new norms actually. New normals is actually doing things with extraordinary, but the target, the outcome should be the same or better. Yeah. Okay. So it's just about like doing things out of ordinary way. Actually, new norms. So the question is that how do come again, Prof. Su? What's the question?
The question is about the value proposition. How actually
Ah,
the value proposition can help the business?
okay. How the value proposition? As I mentioned just now. Okay. If you're talking about new norms now, okay, in business, it's actually we are more businessmen, especially the SMEs, are going on online business, right? Online business, just like what the practice of Alibaba or even the small companies also. I'm not talking about just Tesco or Giant, but small supermarket now is already creating their apps. I was very surprised, even in like Malaysia, Professor Han, okay, our I'm not talking small, but the micro entrepreneurs are able to create their own apps to go on online business. Okay, right. So if this is the new norms, okay, the value proposition has to be realigned. Yeah, okay. So it doesn't mean that you have to change your value propositions every now and then, okay? But it's just that you want to create something unique. When you talk about value proposition, it's about what uniqueness that you want to offer now. If previously I don't have an online apps, okay, or I don't have an apps People can actually order my food or my products through the handphone, but now I'm creating it. So the value that I'm giving now is to ease my customers. Yeah, to ease my customers so that they will get a fast order, fast delivery. So we can do that, the real alignment of the value proposition. So value proposition is something that it should not be there forever, forever, forever. Okay, it should be aligned according to the business landscape and the dynamisms of the business.
Yeah, in other word, we can call that as pivoting.
Yeah,
Pivot
yeah,
is
that's
the
right.
startup world. When we discuss about young enterprise, the startup opportunity that young people can view. So they're meant to shift to a new strategy. So business model can always be changed because it is often believed to entail drastically changing the whole company. So focusing on different set of customers by positioning all these new startup into a new market, or they can do it vertically or horizontally. So they just have to pivot as and when required. So
Exactly.
we have a
Yeah.
question from Handong from Prof Minkyu. What is the next step for making a business with the technology? For example, deep learning is popular, and there are many startups that use deep learning. But it seems that we need more time until those technologies are well matured. Actually, I'm concerned that the current trend may make another IT bubble in the industry. So I think the
Yeah.
focus is on deep learning, Prof.
Deep gig learning, GIG, right?
Uh, deep, DEEP.
DEP, deep learning. Okay, deep learning. Okay, so when we talk about the IR 4.0, okay, right. Let us be frank lah. Yeah, okay. Are we really aware and knowledge enough about what is IR 4.0 about? Yes, we use the word frequently. This is the buzzword. Okay, everybody is talking about IR 4.0. What does it mean? One thing, right? Secondly, okay, are we actually embracing the IR 4.0 in our education? This is very important now. Okay, so many universities, okay, education sector is still using the conventional way and having the conventional curriculums. We are not actually aggressive yet. I'm not saying not, but we are not aggressive yet into infusing the new technology into our academic program. Okay, so my take is that, okay, if you're talking about deep learning, okay, all right, there are two pillars. One group, these are the tools developer. The other groups, people like me, like Prof. Susanna, we are the end user. We use technology, we take the technology, we apply into our business. But the other set is that people who are actually designing the tools, developing the tools. Okay, so these two groups of peoples must be married together to understand. Because the designer group who actually design crafting the tool must understand the user, the end user requirement. So when we talk about deep learning of the new technologies, okay, what people like me, what I want to know is that how that new tools can ease my profession or my business, right? So you as the designer for the tools, you have to accommodate me. That's what I meant as a deep learning. But as I mentioned just now earlier, in the education sector, right, we are still yet to improve this part. Because if we were to move forward, okay, there should be a hybrid. There should be a bridging between the very technical fundamental technologies or scientists and the end user. Because at the end of the day, whatever that you develop here, okay, the technologies, whatever that you develop, your AI tools, your machine tools, okay, it has to be used by somebody because the market is here, actually. Yeah. So
Yes.
that's my take about it.
Prof. Meng, you may respond if you wish to. If not, I would like to get to another question from Prof. Sangbao Jo. Thank you for your great lecture. I have one question about your lecture. During the lecture, you mentioned various IR 4.0 technical pillars such as VR, augmented reality, virtual reality, and AI. Among those pillars, what do you think is the most important thing to maximize value in Malaysia? And I'm curious about the reason you choose that pillar.
Okay, all right. So the pillars is actually, okay, it's not to meant to any particular country or whatever, okay, but basically these are the technical pillars in the IR 4.0, okay. So in Malaysia now, okay, to answer straightforward, I'm answering it, okay, we are going into the AI, right, especially now. So we are heavily going to adopt the artificial intelligence, okay, to create a more sophisticated tools actually in any sectors actually, yeah, okay, even in the not just in the education sector but also in the health sectors, okay. And coming up in the Malaysia, which I foresee, right, okay, because I would say if I were to give a rating from 1 to 10, the Malaysians in using or embed AI, all right, maybe still we are still about 4, right? We are still at the 4, right? Okay, I'm not saying that we are at the mid-level. We are still learning. There are team using it. Okay, and try to promote the use of AI. Okay, right. But even in the robotics system, but the use of AI is there, right? Okay, even educations as well. Okay, right. The next future directions. Okay, that is what in the Malaysian context now. AI is still heavily being addressed, and we want to make sure that some of the systems that we are actually using the AI platform. Okay, but my foresee the next one will be the AR actually, the augmented reality actually, yeah. Okay, and this has been used by some of the sector, especially the education sectors actually, yeah. Okay, so I hope I'm answering Prof. San, okay, but for the Malaysia, I think we are trying to go for the AI. Yeah. Virtual reality, yes, anyone can go for virtual reality because that is not kind of a very challenging part, yeah.
Okay, we are back to Malaysia now, Prof. There's a question from Ms. Nur Shohani Zamin. This is from YouTube. We have seen an increased engagement level in online businesses during pandemic in Malaysia, including the education industry. So are we ready for online education?
This is a very common question being asked actually. Are we ready to go for online education? Yeah, okay. Right, how am I going to answer this? Okay, psychologically, we are not that ready. If I were to give a rank between 1 to 10, psychology, I would say in terms of maybe 5. Yeah, okay. Why I say that? Because the stress, the pressure, the stress impacted from the online is actually quite high. Why? Why we feel that? Because it's a new culture to many educators in Malaysia, actually. Yeah. Okay. So in terms of the educators itself, okay, whether we are ready as an educators and as an institutions, are we ready or not? I would say that we are between 1 to 10. I would say we are giving between 3 to 4 actually. Why do I say that? One, the infrastructure of the technology needs to be really beefed up. Okay, the connectivity is not well-rounded, but we are very lucky in Malaysia, because the government, from the federal governments especially, okay, they are trying to address these issues. So in view of the pandemic COVID-19, okay, there is a blessing in disguise. Yeah. Okay, now the government are seriously addressing how to make sure the coverage, the internet coverage is covered throughout the Malaysia, right? Okay, so we are very lucky the supports that we have, but we have to start from now. So we have to be prepared, okay? it's not just, we cannot stop because of COVID-19. We do not know what will be the other catastrophes going to happen in the future. Yeah, okay. So back to the question, whether the educators, are we ready or not? Okay, we are ready. Maybe psychologically we are not fully ready, but we are enculturing the process, the mindset to move to that direction. So in the next semesters, okay, most of the universities now are very open now. So we are going for online. So 100% of the universities are going for online now in the next,
Yeah.
starting from the next semester. Yeah.
Yeah, the possibility is always there. I think we just have to force ourselves, there is no other way, that we cannot
Yeah.
leave education behind. But it's good that our faculty has reached 100% online delivery successful during, those pandemic, time. Two more questions, Prof, from the YouTube. Do we need the hard skills, technical, to be a part or join a part in the making of the technopreneur?
Yes, the answer, yes. We still need the hard skill. Yeah, we still, what do we mean by the hard skill? The people with the technology skills. We still need that. Okay, okay. I will point the other way. Huh? Okay, we are so much. Actually, we are so much talking about the hard skill. When we talk about knowledge, we're talking about skills. It's actually hard skills. But the soft part, the human part, that is another part that we must address. Yeah, okay. The value in the human. This is something which I coined it. Okay, no matter what, the drive to use those hard skills is actually comes from the inner part. So this is talking about the value in the human, right? So that's why in my talk previously on the moving forward for the new entrepreneurships, okay, the component of human development, okay, is still needed, okay, because we are actually so much touching on the hard skill. We want to produce computing scientists, we want to produce robotic scientists, we want to produce, so those are the hard skills, but we always isolate these human skills actually. So my point is that we have to be balanced actually.
A question from Prof. Han about the 10 pillar, the 10 tech pillars you have presented just now. What is your strategy to cover those technology things which are inevitable for new emerging business in UMK? What is our faculty strategy?
Right. At the universities now, okay, the strategies now, we have three phases. I would say three phases of strategies. Okay, from the university levels, okay, the universities has come up with a very brief policies about what will be the we call it the digital transformations of the universities, where we have to embed online. We start on the online teaching. Okay, then it cascades down at the central levels, where we have the group of what we call the online facilitators. Okay, so the online facilitators are the key people where the divisions of academic is trained them. So they must be masters on these online tools, right? The online tool, the e-campus and so forth. Even within the e-campus, there are a lot of gadgets they're using, like crossword, Zebra, or whatever there. Okay, and plus the technical, the hard skill, the hardcore people who are actually behind the development of the e-campus. Okay, right. So the strategy, that was the strategy, is broken down into several phases and several categories. Okay, at the educators levels, okay, we are trying to pairing, okay, the senior and the junior one. Okay, because the senior, like the baby boomers like me, okay, I'm not very into technology, but we got to learn, right? So we got to be abreast also. So we have them working in a partner. So because the young one, the digital natives or the millennials, they are into the technology very fast. So they will guide the senior one and they will learn from each other actually. And of course, all these strategies are being monitored and being presented at our Senate, okay, the achievement, the outcomes of each of the faculties. So faculties, okay, the agenda of the online educations at the UMK, okay, now has been monitored very closely, and we got to present it at the Senate level.
Okay. Dear Prof, I have a question. This is from Amalina Ahmad Sabri. What are the major challenges faced by industry in moving towards Industry 4.0 adoption?
The challenge, okay, stems from the employees, whether they are ready, okay. Second, the support system, the infra and info technology, the info and infra technology. Yeah, so that's the two major challenges. Okay, the third one is the governance of the technology. Yeah, when you talk about driving the new industry, we call it. I put it as the new future industry. Okay. First and foremost, okay, then it has to come from the top. The philosophy, the directions of the top, from the top echelon of the company must be very clear. If you are moving towards technology savvy, okay, for example, if you're going towards to online business, so the policy must be made very clear. Then you need to share the policy to the employees, okay? And the employees has to be reskilling or upskilling if they are not ready. Okay, right. And the third one, the governing structure of this new future industry. Okay, these actually pose major challenges to the companies if they are moving towards a full IR 4.0 adoption. Actually.
Wow. There's a lot to tackle. Now, I think at this juncture, right, the key question here is whether our educational institutions who are training the next generation talent themselves possess the skill to tackle the global challenges. Now, when we talk about Industry 4.0, this is just fit. Whether they are also in a fit position to power, the next generation industries, because we just have to prepare the future for them. Or is it the case that our education institutions are simply churning out skills for tomorrow's sunset so-called industries? So in order to ensure that, the students and future graduates are capable of transforming Malaysia industry into a knowledge intensive and perhaps, Prof, a globally competitive marketplace. So there appear to be a need to be concerted efforts among all parties to see that, the foresight changes taking place in the domestic, in the regional, and even in the global economy. So these changes will define the types of jobs that will be created and what is actually to be disappeared. And I believe this joint collaborative effort between UMK and HGU is also needed, between all of whatever mechanism expertise that we can share together, and we are actually coming up with maybe a proposal to design the curriculum at all levels, perhaps to address all the gaps that currently we are facing. So mechanism and this institutional infrastructure also need to be put in place, as what have been discussed by Prof. Sabri on his effort to move the IBIC into a reality, and to make sure that our data science department is going to be established. So these are all to facilitate the continuous refinement of our education, and perhaps whatever that we are coming up with, this collaboration is part of the training resource requirement that we can develop. So well, this requires a broad strategy in fostering all the creativity, all the agility, and also the mobility of talent, so that it is able to meet current industry needs and whatever prospective future industry needs. So Prof. Han, we have giving a lot of insights, I think, from our Prof. Jin, and perhaps any other perspective that you would like to share before we move on to our discussion session.
By the way, thank you very much. It was a great lesson to me. I learned a lot about the business, and I appreciate your lecture. And yes, Okay. Now, why don't you move on to the, what we are going to accomplish through our collaboration. Yeah.
Okay, so we can just proceed with our discussion, Prof. Stay with us because this is going to be like an interesting session. Is she stay with us? Okay. Are you able to see my presentation, my slide? Okay.
It's a part.
Yeah. The discussion is actually now before
Okay.
this. A quick, proposal from our side. Yeah, but we can dwell into a lot of other, needs in whatever that we have discussed today. And I just want to share a very quick, activity that appear to be like a national interest as well, not alone about our university. And let me see how we can go about this My STEM Ambassador Industry 4.0 relevant. So STEM here is actually defining the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And ambassador is actually to bring about, the young talent that university produce and equip them with relevant tools to make sure that they are able to communicate science education to schools. Yeah. So we have diverse faculties in our universities, comprised of, FKP is the entrepreneurship and business. FPV is Faculty of Veterinary Medicine. FHPK is Faculty of Hospitality, Tourism and Wellness. We have FTKW is Faculty of Technology, Creative and Heritage. We have FAE, Faculty of Architecture and Acoustic. And we have, those science-based Faculty of Industry, Technology, agro base, right? And then earth sciences and also the bioengineering and technology. So in our mission as an entrepreneur university, this is actually the aim, the aspiration put forth by our Vice Chancellor that by next coming 2 years, 2023, we want to be the first entrepreneur university in Malaysia. And next couple of years, by 2026, we are aiming to, become the best entrepreneur university in ASEAN. And by 2030, we are, positioning ourselves to be the best in Asia. So we are actually getting ourselves good accredited by, this ACEEU. This is actually the body that have been like positioning what we call the accreditation for entrepreneurial and engagement university. So the orientation is actually have 5 important criteria. First is on the orientation and strategy. And secondly, to look on the people and organizational capacity. Thirdly, drivers and enablers. The fourth one is education, research, third stream activities, and innovative and impact. So moving on this, activity, we are actually trying to position our interests and perhaps to look at the various possible engagement to bring up, opportunity for University Malaysia Kelantan startup, and we like to call that as lead startup at UMK, and would like to propose it to address, certain part of the 17 SDG goals, and to respond to all of these necessity. If we can coming up with the technopreneurship education that is to support the pillar number 8 on distant work and economic growth, and also on pillar 9 on industry, innovation and infrastructure. We also like to communicate our talent to move about the capacity building that not only involve our university, but to communicate our engagement to the society, which, had to do with schools, run a workshop and teacher training. And we would also like to address gender equality to have, another angle of interest. You have all the capacity to work on your industry 4.0 relevant that we have been discussing the past 2 days. Perhaps we cannot leave behind mainstreaming gender in this area. And also on the community program with schools and youth, to address anything with regard to clean water and sanitation and sustainable cities perhaps. And reduce inequalities is actually targeting the disadvantaged and underrepresented group. And Industry 4.4 diplomacy, this is just to equate our engagement on peace, justice, and strong institution. So, and in line with that, we also like to have learn a lot of technology that you can share with us in combating COVID-19, pollution, clean, and climate change. So along with that, maybe this is just one of the example, to address the multidisciplinary connection. We knew that, when we look at your engagement, we can see all the deep technical side of Industry 4.0, right? So in this area, like the second tier here is on big data, coding skills, right? These are actually important if we are addressing one example of the activities, yeah? This is just to connect science to school. So if in our university we have faculty of bioengineering and technology, they can have a lot to discuss about activity in terms of whatever that is in their subject matter expert. They can work along together with us, and we can have a data skill workshop and whatsoever, and that is actually aligned to address with whatever SDG goals are all about. And at the same time, when we talk about the science, social science, this has to do with psychology and how does that could eliminate the change behavior, and the outreach community will actually engage us to communicate science better to school. Yeah. So I just want to have a quick share with what we have been doing so far, our engagement on this science, national week. Every year we do have this, and part of the activity have been engaged towards, the community, the schools, and also the national and state level. We does have like a workshop on STEM robotics education, and we connect that to communicate the activity to social media. Yeah, and that has a lot to do with Erasmus Plus project last time, and we communicate those to benefit the society. We also involved in researching women and society. This is from part of our engagement with a lot of activity with other universities. And some of that quick one, just development and innovation that the university student has done is actually giving a lot of advantage on their building of entrepreneurial value. Yeah. So so that is actually giving that an agenda for us to discuss about the possibility of maybe get this into a discussion further. Yeah, on that is actually the highlight that I'm giving on the opening, and maybe we can discuss further on secondly STEM that is related to Industry 4.0, and what are the prospective activities, and to develop the elective in the core curriculum. Yeah, in particular to mold the MySTEM ambassador at our universities, and perhaps we can discuss other matters and adjourn our session. So I would like to hand this over to you, Prof. Han, for our discussion.
Us. I'm sorry, I missed your last talk.
You missed the talk. Never mind, you can always view the recorded version. Okay. Okay, we can discuss our earlier arrangement was actually try to position expertise of your talent, your professors, your faculty members to mold into maybe geared towards capacity building, right? Like we have been planning in January to proceed with design spring boot camp. but along the line, we need to identify the suitability of your program to fit the, whatever nature that we have in our university. So you see now from these 3 days, you can see a different angle. Maybe yours is exactly from the computer science background and electrical engineering. Your technical side appear to be a little bit too heavy, perhaps, for the nature of background that we have. But that does not mean to say it will, stop us from doing so. We can possibly try to make the alignment so that our talents, our graduate, our faculty members are ready to get into those nature of activities.
Actually, I was during this 3-day conference. I tried to figure out what we can do for us. So, as you say, the perspective is quite different.
Yeah.
So now you are suggesting that your STEM activities, so probably that will be one of the activity we can do together. And what else possible, so you are focused on the business and we are focused on the technology itself.
Yeah.
So it's not easy for us to find the same interest.
Yeah. Okay. I think one of our main interests is actually to produce startup that has all these elements that geared toward industry 4.0. So if, let's just say, the process of training of these young people in our university appear to be not that too deep and technical, I think that could fit within our needs. Yeah. Of course, it's good for us to combine the technology expert and the business expert. When I was having my fellowship in Stanford Technology Venture Program in Stanford University, this is how actually we have been working together. We have all the technologists who are actually developing a lot of innovation, but the business people come in to help the value proposition, the business model, and run the startup together. So that would be a great value if we can make that proposal happen.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So we can find a good product, and we can try to develop the technology and to start the company. Yeah, that will be very nice thing to work for, I think.
Yeah, I like the idea when I look at the robotics, I look at the augmented reality, the one that is the interactive robots in research, and then the AI, right? Perspective, like the one who delivered Prof. Hang on, the BCI. Despite it actually a little bit technical, but I think the learning process on how we can position our talent together, meaning to say, if let's just say we have a graduate from your university who come up with the BCI, right? And our university students also uh, learning that process. But if that just say they are coming from our faculty, then perhaps they can mold the interest toward the startup and entrepreneurship. But we can also get a graduate from creative technology. Remember Dr. Tan, despite the fact he also mentioned they are not into that technical aspect of what your university had, but perhaps we can see and discuss and look at which angle we can collaborate together.
Yeah, that's a good possibility. So, you know, we can think of many things. Let me talk. 우리가 이제
So do I need to stay or can I leave?
Yes, because it's good to see the direction. Maybe one of the contribution that I'm aiming for this project is we are contributing to national level. If we are coming up the elective in the co-curriculum for the My STEM Ambassador program, we are actually contributing towards national interests, and we are building the first ever STEMpreneur product from our university. I mean, our talent is not only versatile in terms of entrepreneurship, but they can invest their competency in STEM talent to help the country to boost the science and mathematics, and this is actually really beneficial for the country.
Yeah, I think they can.
I mean, even if we have IBIC, right? IBIC can also explore a lot of energy in terms of contributing what is that man AI for, or in the need of, I mean, the best part is to seek the awareness, and maybe some mechanism of capacity building can also be co-organized IBIC and the faculty, right?
so starting up a company is one good agenda, and also So what about the other activities like you said, capability building activities? So we have some questions regarding UMK. Actually, we wanted to know more about your university, but we did not get enough data from the homepage. So, our faculty members may have some questions regarding what you are doing. And so why don't you ask questions if you have, or if you want to know more? Yeah.
I think the first visit when HGU was here, we did give a briefing, but what we can do is that either Prof. Su wants to give the video corporate, a copy of the video corporate or the slide presentation, which we have done actually when the first video visit here, right? But if you want a printed material, we can always put an email to you actually.
Yes.
Along with that, could you please send us sort of a list of courses that you are teaching? So that will give us the correct idea what you are doing. So that will be really helpful. And you can also give us some kind of verbal answer at this moment so that we can continue our discussion as well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. You want, I mean, Prof. Su also can give a brief explanation about the university, or you want me?
Okay, let me
That would
just,
be great.
just take a look on this. If I can just share this, I'm putting that one slide, the one that we had, but this was last year. Let me see if we can just have a very quick introduction about our university. Prof, you can always interrupt me and join me in the presentation. So in brief, well, we are mandated by the government, to become the what do we call, entrepreneur university. So behind of our establishment, we have to serve. This is actually the national entrepreneurship policy based from the last year, which has been part of the national entrepreneurship policy 2030. So there appear to be 5 important objectives of national entrepreneurship policy in the country. So we have to make sure that we are in line, and we are in terms of our entrepreneurship policy. So one is to be the first holistic and conducive entrepreneurial ecosystem. Second is to be a thoughtful and entrepreneurial culture. Third is increasing the number of entrepreneurs in the country. Fourth, enhancing the capabilities of micro, small, and medium enterprises and cooperatives. And the fifth, making entrepreneurship a career of choice. So Malaysia will be a leading entrepreneurial nation by 2030, and this goal is in line with our university's aspiration to become the first entrepreneurial university in the country. So the aim, as I have presented just now, by 2033, we want to be the first entrepreneurial university in Malaysia, and 2026 in ASEAN, and 2030 in Asia, right? So I have discussed this. An overview about our university: we have 1,247 staff. This is the data as of last July 2019. I haven't got the recent name, but staff is increasing, with 58% consists of the administrative and 42% of the academic. Currently, we hold about 24 undergraduate academic programs with 16 postgraduate, and there are 3 campuses around the university. The whole of the Kelantan, we have around 176 acres. This is a parcel of land that located in Bachok, and that comprise of 3 faculties: Faculty of Creative Technology and Heritage, Faculty of Architecture and Acoustics, and Center for Language and Generic Skills. And then another main not exactly, this was previously our main campus. City campus is located in Pengkalan, Cepa, the one that Prof. Han visited. We have here Faculty of Entrepreneurship and Business, Hospitality, Tourism and Wellness, and Veterinary Medicine. And the Delhi campus is a bit like 2 hours from our city campus. It has approximately on the land of 260 acres, and this hosts the Faculty of Agro-Based Technology, Agro-Based Industry, Earth Sciences, and Bioengineering and Technology. So UMK is the 19th public university which was officially launched on 1st September 2006 by the Prime Minister. And our trust is first, entrepreneurship and business, creative technology and heritage, and natural resources sciences. So our vision is to become, the championing balance and holistic human development with entrepreneurial attributes for global prosperity. And we offer quality and relevant academic programs and training, high commercial value research and innovation, effective and efficient services with high priority in providing conducive environment and fulfilling social responsibility. So the philosophy of our curriculum is based on entrepreneurship education cutting across the discipline with the tagline of entrepreneurship is our trust. And the concept of our entrepreneurship education, as discussed, we cut across programs and discipline. Our courses are meant for all faculties and a mandatory third language, integrated delivery system. We also have entrepreneurial attributes and good universal value and students on campus businesses. Yeah. So the pillar of all this is actually making our universities innovative in terms of our, assigned value as an entrepreneur university. Right, so there are important also other institute in our university that spearhead, all of these angle of research and capacity building. We have under what we call UMK&HGU. This is University Malaysia Kelantan Entrepreneurship Institute. So solely this center is actually gearing to the entrepreneurial development excellence for any activity with regard to the entrepreneurship for in and off campus, which actually focus and have all these viable entrepreneurship training. They also offer advisory, counseling, and networking entrepreneurship. So most of the staff inside this UMK&HGU are actually coming from our faculty. Yeah. So inside UMK&HGU, it also has other small, activities like Institute for Small and Medium Enterprises. We also offer Center for Entrepreneurship Education and Development, and the research, which I was formerly the director for this center, geared towards global entrepreneurship research and innovation. This is just the same thing. And currently we have 19 professors. Yeah, with the entrepreneurship courses, we have main core subject, which actually is a mandatory for all faculties to take, and 8 elective and 2 curriculum. Our strength on art and social science and also sciences. In fact, by 2019, we have increased up to 95%, Prof, on graduate employability, right?
Yeah. Our graduate about 94%, yes.
Yes, 94%, which has actually a good contribution for a nation in terms of their employability. And if we can go for 100%, that would be also awesome for our university, right? So average gross profit per month, well, I think this is actually for
okay, this is for the entrepreneurships. Okay, since the UMK is championing in entrepreneurship education, so one of the outcomes that we measured in terms of number of students participated and established their companies. Yeah, okay. So currently we have more than 1,200 companies established by the university, okay, and of course our faculty of business is the highest. We have established 290 student companies, and in terms of students involved in entrepreneurship after they're graduating, we have reached 12%. So we have actually exceeding the national target of 10%. The national target means the Malaysian target for students to involve in entrepreneurship is just 10%, but for UMK we have reached 12 point something percent actually. Yeah, and the various of business, so is just stated in the slides there. So there are various types of companies ranging from clothing up to the communication device. They even created their own webs, their apps. Yeah. Okay, next. So this is some of the testimonials of the companies, student companies. So, very few of them is actually becomes already reach a millionaire actually. Yeah. Okay. So this is in terms of research and innovation. Well, the UMK is a boutique university. The total number of students is actually about 9,200 students. Okay, we remain that way. We are not a very big, huge universities with 20 over 1,000 students, but we always keep to not more than 11 to 12,000 students. Yeah, okay. And in terms of the research and commercializations, we are progressing it very well. We have currently we have reached our total research grant is actually have reached about 7.8 million, right? Where the grants basically coming from not just from the national level, but there are also special projects from the international level. And we are quite active in the innovation competitions, okay? And so next. Yeah, so these are some of the products that has been commercialized from the sciences. Next. Okay, just to share with you, these are all the products. Yeah. Okay. So training and consultancy, we are also quite active. We can use our platform of the Institute of Small, ISME is Institute of Small and Medium Enterprise, which handles, offers some of the training programs for the rural entrepreneurs and also the needy one. Next. So these are some executive program. These are our collaborations with the. We have a lot of collaboration with the industry actually to name. So in terms of entrepreneurship, so we have quite a number of big projects, yeah, and some of the projects are top down, coming from the federal government. Yeah. 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 So this is to showcase you some of the projects. Okay, this one no need lah. Okay. So in a nutshell, the strength of the university is on entrepreneurship. So all students across all disciplines, because we have 9 faculties just now, right? So the 9 faculties, they are ranging from the entrepreneurship and business up to the social arts and heritage faculty. Yeah, okay. So all students are compulsory to take up the entrepreneurship courses. There are 4 entrepreneurship courses that every one of the students must sit and pass. So is that okay to give you a quick eye opener about the UMK, Prof. Han?
Oh yeah, thank you so much. So in terms of technology, in terms of tech-based major, could you list some of few names of the courses, just for example?
Yeah, for the technology base, okay, we have a center of excellence. So center of excellence is focused on the research, is known the artificial intelligence and big data center, which the director of the, in short, we call it IBIC. IBIC stands for Artificial Intelligence and Big Data. So headed by Professor Sabri, who presented his views this morning. Yeah, okay. So the IBIC is actually focused more on the research related to the technology. Okay. The other center, we have the the Technology Support Center, known as the Center for Communication and CCI, Center for Communication and Technology and Information. So this is more like a service center that provide the whole technology ecosystem for the university. Yeah. Okay. And at the faculty levels, we have the technologists, okay, who are experts in the various areas of technology. We do have experts in the AR, AI, big data, computing scientists, information technology, business computing, business analytics. So we do have those experts in those various technology fields.
Okay, thank you. And we are more interested in the education program. So there are, where I saw the number, there are lots of undergraduate students, and they probably go through a list of courses that are related to some level of technology. What kind of courses do you have for the student?
Come again, Professor Hong?
I
technology courses?
some kind of programming courses or
humming here. Okay.
the connection okay?
Okay, yeah.
네.
Yes, Prof.
Right, it sounds like there was a big lag.
Okay, now I can hear you now well, yes.
Okay, so where we were curious about the list of actual courses where particularly where the courses relate to programming or courses relate to AI or machine learning.
Okay, all right, okay. For the students outside the technology, because we are coming up with a degree in information technology in this February. So this is very fundamental. But even though we said very fundamental, they must know how to develop the system, but they are also should be able to use to apply the technologies that they have invented. Okay, so that is one group. Okay, so the other group is the non-IT student. The non-IT students, okay, basically the non-IT students, they have to take up subjects like technology application in entrepreneurship, technology application in agriculture. So they are more the user end. Yeah? So they are not the fundamental scientists in technology, but they are the user. But the one in the IT group, in the engineering, computing, yes, these are the fundamental group. Yeah. Okay.
We are probably more interested in the IT group primarily. So, if you are possible, if you can send us the list of courses for this group of students, that will be really, really helpful for us.
You want the list of courses, right?
Yeah, right. The courses that are offered by UMK.
Okay. Okay. Right.
And also,
for the and starting from this, starting from last semester, the science students have to take up 2 courses of AI and big data, right? But starting from next semester, all of the students have to take up the big data and artificial, if I'm not mistaken, artificial AI and big data science, AI and data science. So that will make a compulsory across all the students starting from next semester. But currently, only the sciences students are taking those subjects. Yeah. Again, for example, the business student, they still have their own technology applications in entrepreneurships or in agriculture. They do have that. They learn that. Yeah.
There are 4 courses under our current Faculty of Entrepreneurship and Business that is quite close to technology, ICT. 1 is e-commerce, 2 is technopreneurship, and then we have business IT, and new proposed subject is on digital marketing. And then under Dr. Tan, the Faculty of Technology, Creative and Heritage, we have these specific courses or we offer in the Bachelor of Creative Technology, which regards to industrial design. We have multimedia, we have animation, visual communication design, we have screen study, we have Bachelor of Creative Technology in Fine Art. We also have cultural heritage, heritage literature, performing arts, and then textile fashion, and also heritage conservation.
So every disciplines, okay, the technology is being infused actually in the curriculum.
I see. Well, thanks for all the additional information.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, you cannot make that similar to computer science and electrical engineering.
Yeah.
Yours is heavily technical.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we are in the process of like coming up. I think our first effort now is on the data science. We are taking that as a department first under the Faculty of Entrepreneurship and Business. I think the interest is looking on the analytic of business, and then primarily and gradually we're gonna land it as its own faculty. But we've just started. I mean, this collaboration maybe could instill a very good value if we can make, you know, those alignment fit within your needs and of course our needs, right? We have
We agree that as well.
Faculty of Bioengineering and Technology.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm not sure Professor has mentioned.
Yeah,
Professor has mentioned we have in our Faculty of Business, so we have this department for data science and business analytics, so is going to mobilize this September. So in our Faculty of Business and Entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And another faculty, the one I mentioned, Bioengineering and Technology, we have Materials Technology, we have Forest Resources Technology, we have Bioindustrial Technology, and also the coming up, right, Bachelor of IT.
That one will be under our faculty, yeah.
That will be like our Senate has like make a different resolution now to be parked under our faculty.
All right. And also, when I looked at the list of the businesses that your alumni has made, where there were sort of discrepancy between technology and the actual list of the businesses. So I now understand the sort of new momentum in UMK is sort of pushing them towards the direction of AI or the technology is being developed. So could you share with us where sort of envisions that you have towards the direction of the next sort of business among those alumni?
Yeah, you are right, Professor Hong. We are envisions to produce more technopreneurship. Technopreneurship, not just the normal entrepreneurships. Okay, I think one of the things that we can also learn from your side is that for you to coach our students in the next sessions. Okay, how to move forward to be specialized in the area of business technology related area. For example, developing the e-commerce platform, fintech, even financial technology, things like that. So these are actually what we are encouraging for the students. Yes, I do agree with you. If you look from the business, okay, most of them are very focused on food and beverages, actually. Very few are very focused more on the technology, creating their apps and everything. But we are envisioned towards that, actually, yeah. I think this is high time that for the collaborations actually can boost our students by this October. Yeah.
Thanks for the clarification. From my point of view, but at the same time, where the area of the business, it doesn't have to be directly connected with AI. So even if we are in the business of food, or even or in the clothing or things like that, we can make some connection with the technology and themselves as well. So
yeah, this is actually what we want. You're right. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Right. Thanks for agreeing. Thanks
Yeah,
for your agreement.
Prof. Tanjil, another interest is actually we are currently having a ready market in terms of STEM education. STEM education appear to have like problematic area of interest in terms of that has an implication to the current standing of students in Malaysia who appear to have lack of interest in science and mathematics. Yeah. So whatever, some of the interest in industry 4.0, it has got to do with this interest in education as well. For example, in our country, we have what do we call, let me just take a look a while. This is quite important agenda because we can connect our graduates to benefit the education. For example, in school education, we have subject we call as design and technology. That is related to AI and also computer programming and robotics. And this has been introduced to year 4 pupils, yeah, beginning 2020. And then the Ministry of Education's what we call curriculum development division has started to also propose algorithm on how to develop simple and more complicated computer program to school. Yeah. So meaning to say from this year onward, software like Arduino, Microbit will be introduced to students at primary school under this so-called design and technology subject, and to expose them to robotics, AI, and the coding and program of hardware. And then from next year onwards, students will also learn how to use Scratch. Yeah, this is a freeware for coding and other sources. And then what is important is that we need to be in line because currently not all teachers are well equipped with all these competency. And some of our students are good, they have all these basic in computer science. And then this has to get the exposure also on a simple coding methods such as the Microsoft Visual Basic, Java, HTML, all these Microsoft Access, MS, SQL, and that is actually another perspective opportunity that we can equip our so-called graduates to be part of the MySTEM ambassador. And since this is actually the requirement set by the ministry for us to develop a curriculum, yeah, they want this to be part of the co-curriculum subject as elective. And it's going to be like sustainable program for years. And if we can sort of like look into this process, we can develop our graduates to become startup and also potential involvement in freelance activity, so they can make or generate income from this program. Because currently in Kelantan alone, we have about 400 over schools. And along, we have been tying up with this state department of education and Ministry of Education, rolling about 100 schools, which had 20,000 potential market to subscribe to our delivery of the module. So the market is there, but we just have to groom them and equip them with whatever that is needed at national level. So this is going to be a beautiful and, I must say, a sustainable program that can be laid down at university. So I'm just throwing, some of the potential, collaboration that we can go along in terms of computer science.
Thanks for informing us with lots of opportunities. Where I observe lots of changes coming up to the where UMK side. So there must be some changes in terms of where administrative things, but at the same time, in terms of the course material, there should be lots of changes I expect. So if there is some requirement, or if there are some needs made relate to the computer science technology, then we can fill the gap, I guess. So we have some programs, where education program that are designed for our students, and also it can be modified towards the faculty members as well. So we can offer some short-term courses for faculties, and also offer some courses, online courses for students as well, where we can discuss this kind of thing. But at the same time, I think I need to connect my laptop to the power source. So please give me a moment. In the meantime,
Yeah.
교수님 받아주실 수 있으면 좋을 것 같은데요. 지금 저 배터리.
Okay, we can provide the workshop program. So you suggested, and you know those are the easily the most possible one. So we can provide. Currently, we have many kinds of workshop, and it can be useful for UMK students and or some young adults under age 40. So let's plan for that. So, but before then, we should know what kind of, we need to find out some, okay, so actually last time you gave me some list of the topics, right? So we can select and we can plan. And I'd like to know if it is possible. So do you have already a technology entrepreneurship program curriculum? If so, or if you want to create a new one, so I'd like to know about the structure of the curriculum. So the structure
okay,
of the
I
technical
understand.
entrepreneurship program. Yeah.
Okay, for that, we don't have, what we have is a Bachelor of Degree in Entrepreneurships, okay? And technology in entrepreneurship is just a subject, okay? There are two subjects infused in the curriculum. So moving forward, we are going to design a Bachelor of Entrepreneurship with specialization in business analytics. So that is actually involved in the more on the technology offering for the business. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we are honored if you could work with us.
That curriculum, it composed of how many credits? It's composed of how many courses?
Okay, at the moment, for the credits, we are targeting not more than 120, just like our other degree. It has to be 120 credits over 4 years program.
Yeah. Can you?
It's a 4-year program.
Yeah, can you brief us the components of the 120 credits? So the
present one, yeah, the present one, okay.
Yeah.
So there are some that because okay.
So
for the business,
what I want to know is some business portion.
The brief.
Business portion and the technology portion.
Okay.
The others are okay. Yeah. Fine.
Okay. All right. Okay. The technology, the business analytic portion will range about like 35 to 37 credits. So
35 to 37 credits. Wow.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. And the business is about another 30 credits. Okay. And then we have the university mandatory subject, the language, blah, blah, that takes about another 20 credits.
Okay, then could you a little bit more tell us about the 35 to 37, the business analytics course. So it's composed of several subjects, right?
We are just in the midst of developing the curriculum because this is going to be a new academic program.
I see. So do you have any plan or any design for that, even though it may be rough or vague?
We
How
have
will
something.
you construct?
Yeah, we have something because we have our industry peoples and also other peoples actually share with us, okay, what would be the appropriate subjects or courses to be embedded in the business analytics, and then a few of it, people were saying about the AI, right, the big data, okay, and the how to apply the data analytics, data analytics, okay, how to analyze the data, things like that. Okay, but we do have our expertise internal to help us to develop this component, and of course we appreciate. Not we just appreciate is one thing. We must get peoples from outside, from the other universities, international levels, or perhaps this is where I think HGU can work with us in collaborations to develop that part actually. Yeah. What about in your case? Do you have that business analytics program?
Actually, in our university, we have, actually our university is double major system. Every student should take double major, but the one major, also we have a single major program also. So each major, double major is composed of 2 specific credits. So, in the one major is called global entrepreneurship. So it is maybe similar to the 30 credits of your courses. And the other 33, they can choose anything, mechanical, computer science, electrical, they can choose anything. So we, every student, they have double major. So entrepreneurship students, one major is entrepreneurship and the other is, the many things. So most of them take ICT, computer science.
Right.
But we found, what we found out is that, for undergraduate students, with that system, it is very hard to start their own company because their professionality there is pretty, it's not enough for them. So anyway, okay, that's our case.
Okay.
So currently we are trying to develop more innovative program as you. So okay, now you are saying that technopreneurship, you are focused on the business analytics or some other technology, like mechanical engineering or.
Yes. Even under our commerce major, our degree that is majoring in commerce. So that also focus one of the aspect that they are focused on the technology.
I see. So you are trying to develop one new curriculum,
yes,
which is focused on business analytics and some other entrepreneurship course, right?
Yes, because
that is more using the big data analysis and using that AIs, right?
Exactly. Okay. Yes. Okay. Because one of the new department that has been agreed to establish by this September. We already have that department, but it's going to mobilize by this September. Is our department of data science and business analytics. So what we're going to offer there currently, we have the Bachelor of Information Technology and Data Science. right?
Mhm.
So coming up, what we want to have a hybrid program between the entrepreneurship and the data science. So that's why we merge that. We have the majoring of business analytics. Yeah.
Okay, so for that, if for that curriculum, if probably we may contribute very fundamental things, because we are doing the the core of the AI. AI technology, not the tools, right? But
Yeah.
so probably we can provide some very the fundamentals of machine learning, because that is necessary for those track students, I think.
Yes.
And for that, in that sense, we can contribute a little bit, right? So
Okay,
what kind
we are
of
very happy
contribution
to hear that. Yeah, we are very happy to hear
with
that.
AI? Probably, why don't you share the possibility that we can contribute?
So earlier we actually shared some list of
We can have your team together in our curriculum design for that technology business analytic parts. Yeah, we are very honored to hear this.
Earlier we actually shared some list of topics that we can cover. So where it depends on how we decide. So we can do this where in any format, but basically we can, in terms of topics, we can cover some introductory and intermediate level programming. So C, C++, Java, or Python, or some other programming languages. And also we can offer some kind of background knowledge for artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. So these are more directly relate to the machine learning and AI. And at the same time, for representation, we can offer some kind of study material or courses relate to web or mobile programming, and also some skill set relate to data analytics as well. So in terms of the duration, or in terms of the amount of studying material, where it can be just 1 day, or it can be 2-3 days as well. But at the same time, it can be semester-long course at the same time. So depending on what we decide, we can choose how we actually implement this kind of education program.
Yeah. I think there are a lot of possible collaborations that we can work on actually. Yeah. I'm honored. I'm very pleased to hear this. Yeah. In fact, we can talk about like if there are 1 or 2 subjects which is co-developed by you and the students can get for that subject and it's recognized by HGU, so they will get an additional just a certificate for that subject. So that will be marvelous actually. Similarly, your students, if they come for the entrepreneurship part, so we can also offer the advanced entrepreneurship certificates. Yeah.
Twinning program later on.
Yeah, we have to have so it's just like a win-win situation. Yeah.
Sure.
We have to bring this back for further discussion, perhaps.
Yeah.
Because this morning, Prof. Sabri also mentioned all those giant corporations like Huawei, Alibaba. They are all in the pipeline of, turning opportunities of our graduates to be part of the e-commerce, engagement, and a lot of things
Yeah, a lot of things. Yeah.
to be discussed.
So really, thank you very much. Yeah, for the.
We just have a couple more minutes. If we can make our discussions and earlier, that could be better. So Prof. Changgil Hong is looking for another presentation. Any sharing?
No. So I just would like to continue our discussion, but where we can continue this on later on as well. But I have few other questions as well. So
So that is on education, right?
sorry.
we are now try to identify stability of maybe forming or co-create the curriculum that has value towards our department, our new department of this business analytic, right? One.
Mhm.
And then I think on the perspective of entrepreneurship, I'm also keen to learn about the potential market. It's not
Mhm.
about what we want to do. We can do a lot of vast, interesting product ideas, innovation, but if there's no market, there's no point of our business and startup to exist. So we just have to make sure align with that.
Yeah, sure.
After the curriculum, I have also proposed to Prof Han, I'm keen to convert all those into ebook and MOOC, so that could, you know, have a lot to prepare us for the future. Yeah, online mechanism to deliver our curriculum, so that, you know, we are ever ready for any next coming crisis. Yeah.
That's possible. So, you know, actually our faculty members, they are.
교수님 마이크가 꺼져 있는데요.
Sorry. You know, our faculty members, they have a limited time to devote themselves for the collaboration.
Yeah.
So maybe the easiest thing for us will be to visit your university and give some very compact, intensive, you know, the 1 week program to your students. That it will be kind of extra activity for your students.
Yeah.
Right? Or we can develop some, as you said, some certificate program based mostly focused on AI and the more fundamentals of AI. So not maybe it will be heavy for the business students. Right?
Yeah.
So that kind of task will be the easiest one to start. And also, lots of time we talked about the design sprint.
Yeah.
Design sprint is, I think that will be. Do you certainly have such kind of program? Do you?
We do have whatever things that relates to business value proposition. We have every semester, every year.
Yeah, but it is not a short program, right?
Yeah, no, it is not a short program. We have like even we participate in Swiss Innovation Challenge, which is appear to be scheduled this year, but postponed to COVID-19. And even the previous year, we have number of national level, which actually close to what you are doing. But now everything has to be crammed into, you know, 1 week. So, you know, the idea is tremendous. Yeah.
Do you think you know, the design sprint program will help your student?
Yeah, but you have to the scope is not going to be that technical.
Okay, then.
Yeah, I mean you have.
And you know, we can contribute to develop the, you know, the curriculum and the courseware, but I worried that, you know, our faculty members probably they have a limited time, so that's my worry. So anyway, we can find out the collaboration way, I think.
Yeah. Better discuss that your strength, your capacity to contribute. I mean, we are ever ready to receive whatever that you want to give us. Yeah, we wait for that.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, then actually, then we. Yeah, the agenda, the top. What should I say? So, any other things that we need to talk, or we need to go further for the more?
I think we can perhaps adjourn our session, and maybe we can call for a fortnight meeting. Every fortnight we have discussions to see the development. And I think it's a good idea also, Prof Han. We are, it's good if we can have the voice recognition, right? You can speak your Korean language, and there's a translator, and then
yeah.
it's like
We need translator.
yeah, on the screen,
Simultaneous.
so it will be easier
Thank
for
you.
both parties to understand. Okay.
And okay, let's plan. After this session, I don't want to set up some at least 1-year collaboration plan, right?
Yeah.
And for each program, I'd like to, I want you to designate corresponding person. Say we will have a IoT workshop, okay? In Malaysia, our faculty members and our students visit there. Then I want you to match the person who will work together. Then they will plan, and then it will be pretty easy. So otherwise, I do not know about the very details about all programs.
Yeah.
So let's. So then after this session, I think I'd like to plan specifically for next winter.
Okay.
January or February, and then that will be easy, and we'd better set up some other things schedule, so workshops, because our profs should have their own plan.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll take action into that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so if I think we have enough discussion today, and we can wrap up our session, Prof.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take necessary action to list down whatever that we have discussed today, and perhaps assign the right people to steer on the certain topic and whatever program that we plan for next year. And with that, I thank you to all of this academic from Handong Global University. Thank you for such a lovely, insightful, informative, a lot of experience that we learned from all the technical aspect of what you have presented in these 3 days. And also to all of our presenters, our professors from University of Malaysia Kelantan. I think we gather a big support to make sure that this Industry 4.0 research and education collaboration workshop materialize. And with that, I would like to close the session. Thank you very much, and have a very good day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.